Hello, everybody. I'm David.
And I'm Evie, and we're excited to bring you this live stream after a long hiatus.
We apologize for the lack of podcasts over the last few weeks, but it's been a little bit crazy, so whatever. No excuses, just didn't get it done. This week's welcome to this week's production. Oh, we are going to do one this week, and this will be our holiday production. As always, we are podcasting from our Gundo Theater in always sunny Mokina, Illinois. And we are fortunate that AudioQuest, Integra, and Golden Ear, three companies who are dedicated to high performance audio, are help make this all possible. Help let us do this, right? Yep. Put us in a position where we could do these podcasts. So we are extremely appreciative to them. And the little guys, 191st and LaGrange Road in Mokina, Illinois, 19031 South Old LaGrange Road in Mokina. TheLittleGuys.com. You can always email us at info@thelittleguys.com. We are open Monday through Friday, 9 until 5. Available by appointment. You tell us when, and almost anytime and anywhere. And we're glad to...
you can test us. You can say, I'm only available Wednesdays at 2 a.m.
Right.
I'm not sure it'll work.
And if I happen to be, coming back from the casino.
I usually wake up.
If I happen to be coming back from the casino around that time, then we could make it happen. Anyway, so we had this whole moving thing going on here, where we thought in October we would have this all resolved, and we ran the moving sale, and we are extremely appreciative of the fact that our customers came in and helped empty out the store, except that it got delayed in October. It got delayed in November. It's delayed in December. So here's the reality. It looks like we're going to be here.
And it looks like we're going to be here until the end of March.
You got it. That's when our lease runs out. So that's the one thing we probably do know for sure. We're going to be here through the end of March. We don't know where we're going to go from there. We know the area we're going to be in. We're just not sure exactly where. Could we stay in this space still? In part of this space, it's possible.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible, but
if not, we will be somewhere close by.
I mean, there was a Christmas miracle today.
Was
3
there?
pieces of 2 receivers and a projector that were scheduled to be here on Tuesday by FedEx all just showed up at the back door, and the customer was completely overwhelmed with it. They could not believe it. I mean, so friggin' excited that I mean, they really had, I had prepared them for the worst, that it wasn't going to happen, short of a Christmas miracle. And how do you like that?
There it comes.
Good things do happen. So, all right. So whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate,
Festivus,
whatever it is, we wish you and all of yours a very happy holiday. I want to be politically correct, but
it's not that it's politically correct. It's that we've opened up our world. We don't live in one small little community anymore where everyone celebrates Christmas. I celebrate Christmas, but that doesn't mean you do. We find out through the whole world that there's bunch of holidays this time of year.
Well, you know what?
So that's where happy holidays come
What the kids said when they were little. Was it Jason or Justin?
Justin.
What Justin said when he was little. Dad, I may be half Jewish, but I'm all Christmas. Right? So that's for sure. So we celebrate Christmas, true. And we celebrate everything, whatever. All right. So there are going to be a lot of tech gifts under the tree this year or wherever. And they include like Apple TVs, Roku devices, iPads, tablets, new phones, I suppose. I mean, video games for sure.
Right. Xbox, PS4.
Video game consoles, yeah. Lots of things, all of which hook up on
Smart TVs,
all of which hook up on the Blu-ray players. I mean, there's a lot. It goes on and on. A lot of things, all of which hook up, have one thing in common. That is that they're going to be on your network, right? And likely there's going to be 3 or 4 new devices on your network in your house, which is overloaded already. Right. That's a really good possibility. And in order to really enjoy all these devices and to make them operate at the way they're supposed to and let them function in the way they're supposed to, they need to have great internet access. They need speed. They need bandwidth. They need the ability to communicate amongst themselves and with each other and through the internet.
Right. And it needs to go throughout the house. Everybody can't be standing there by the router. Modem, router, wireless access point.
In the one spot where you get Wi-Fi?
Right.
All right, so let's do a quick network review. And we're gonna make this somewhat abbreviated show, but let's do a quick network review. Connecting devices via Wi-Fi is the last choice.
Yes.
Right? Not the first choice, because it's easiest. It's the last choice. It's always better to hardwire your components. It's always better, where possible, to run a wire to the component to make it work. Using your Wi-Fi network to control those devices, that's fine. That's, that is something that you have there's no gray area about. That has to happen that way. But to have the devices themselves on the network wired is absolutely the first choice. So whether you got a new Sonos Blue Sound music streamer, or whether you got some other device where you're doing music and movies, or video and audio, that you want the maximum performance out of it. Aren't you tired of buffering? Tired of the delay, or the digitalization, the pixelization of the image itself? Having your audio cut in and out all the time. I mean, you want a good, solid network.
Right. So here's the deal. You have an internet company, whoever they are, whoever your provider, service provider.
Lack of service
provider brings internet to your house. As far as, unless you want to buy more stuff from them, and that's all wireless too, they're done. They provide you with, and they will charge you every month for, a one-piece modem, router, wireless access point. Switch that I'm sure came from the lowest bidder. And say, there you have it. You can call them and complain. They'll come out and test it on your computer where the internet is hooked up. No, it's fine. Well, you might be fine right there. It's not fine in the rest of the house.
Well, and they're trying to find other ways to make your Wi-Fi a little bit better by using these little individual room devices and doing other things. But the truth is, the most important thing is that single device, that Dory / big black box, that device is not the answer. It really isn't. It does four things really poorly. It's a modem, it's a router, it's a switch, and it's a wireless access point. And it just doesn't do all of those things well. It's got one little processor that's trying to do all those different things. It's not an expensive device. It's an inexpensive device, and it just doesn't do any of it well. It's good enough as a modem, right, to get the signal to come in. And in the case of Comcast, and we'll talk about providers in a minute, but in the case of Comcast, you have no choice. If you have their phone service, you're going to need that box. But we can bridge that box and take the signal out of it and put it into a real router, which is the command center, which is the thing that really controls your network and tells your network
post office
how to operate correctly.
I call it the post office.
There you go. And then hooked up to that router is typically a switch that lets you allow multiple devices onto that router, and that switch does what it's supposed to do, which is hand over the signal when it needs to and make adjustments and control.
Mail carrier.
Okay, and then the wireless access points are the devices that actually send out the signal. They're like an FM antenna, only the transmitting antenna, like a radio tower that sends out the Wi-Fi and lets you communicate with it. So that Wi-Fi goes back and forth between your device and whatever it is. So the doing it right, doing it with separate components, that's the right way to do a network. And yes, everybody should have that. It's no longer the case. Look, if you still have one desktop computer and that's it in your entire house,
then you're okay.
I don't believe you. But if you do, then you're fine. Just use the whatever device, plug a wire to it, and let's go. But don't do it Wi-Fi. Run a wire to it, and you're good. But nobody has that anymore. And everybody has 4, 5, 10, 15, 28 devices in their house that are on the network, whether they're light switches.
You're all out there thinking that's crazy. Start counting all the devices.
All the cell phones, all the tablets.
All the tablets, video games.
Blu-ray players, receivers.
Smart TVs that have Amazon and Hulu and, all that. Alexa. Everyone's got Alexa.
Right. So all of these, so what happens is those devices are buffering or are digitizing because the network is bogged down, because it's slowed or just weak. If you have the proper network devices in place and it's done correctly, it's just not an issue. Stuff just works the way it's supposed to work. Can it lock up once in a while? The devices themselves, of course. Their computers, their electronics, stuff locks up sometimes and you have to restart it, or those kind of things. But the bottom line is the communication process and the network itself allows those devices to work at their maximum level of performance. And for you to watch an entire movie without buffering and delay and the aggravating part of it. It makes all the difference in the world. The service providers, they're all painful to deal with.
Yes.
There's no gray area here. Whether you're dealing with UVerse, whether you're dealing with Comcast, whether you're dealing with WOW or RCN or DirecTV from a television perspective, they're all painful. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're horrible, truthfully. If you're lucky, you get somebody who's at least in the United States and you can understand what they're saying and communicate with them. If you're and it's clear that they're giving you the wrong message is clear and you understand it.
I was going to say the wrong message. They're telling you the wrong thing, but at least you can understand
it, right? I mean, it's really tough. But the fact is, and this is really undeniable, if you have the ability to use Comcast, they have the absolute best internet service.
Yes, they do.
You can argue about the TV service between DirecTV and Comcast, and go back and forth, and Dish Network, I should include them. But the reality is Comcast absolutely has the best internet service. Their speed is faster. There's lots of technical reasons for it, and one day we'll do a show with Tom and John and go over all that stuff. But the fact is that's your first choice is Comcast. Yes, you will be aggravated during the phone call. Yes, if you called it with a service problem, it's a pain in the neck. Yes, they give bad advice, and yes, they'll bring out that box and say you're all good, and someday along the line you'll have a problem with it and they'll screw that up. But if you let them get that part of it done and then stop in or call us or email us at info@thelittleguys.com, we'll explain to you the components you need. We'll go over it with you. We'll show you what the right thing to do is, and we'll make it so that your network issues are a thing of the past. That's really what it comes down to. And we can actually monitor your network if we need to. That doesn't mean we can't see what you're seeing. We can't see what you're doing. We can just tell if a device is on or off, or if the network itself is up and running, or if the internet signal itself is dead. We can tell different things around the house that allow us to help restart things from here sometimes, or to at least narrow the focus as to where the problem is. We've been able to save a lot of people a lot of service calls. Not great for our bottom line, but part of what we do. And we've saved them a lot of service calls by being able to deal with whatever that situation is from here, from the store, which is great. So, again, network stuff, your network's not getting any less crowded.
No,
it's going to become more crowded.
And again, so going back, because everybody wants to use things wirelessly, for the best performance, your equipment is wired. You do use it wirelessly, using your tablet or your phone or a remote or whatever. You're using that wirelessly
to control whatever that device is.
All that stuff.
And tablets are wireless, right? I mean, that's the way it works. So you do need a good Wi-Fi infrastructure. You need a solid Wi-Fi distribution. You need to look at the house. You need to see where the wireless access points should be, not just in the closest place to where Comcast can get into your house. It needs to be located centrally or somewhere where it makes sense so that Wi-Fi signal is evenly distributed. And sometimes you need two little wireless access points. And a wireless access point, by the way, is it's a round little disc at this point for us. It's a round little disc, maybe 10 inches across or whatever.
Looks like a little flying saucer.
It looks like a little flying saucer, and it's wired obviously, and it there's different levels of them, right? Depending on the home and how many we need to put in, and a lot of times you get away with just one and that's it. Sometimes too many is bad, so you got to look at the home and design it and create it and engineer it and make it make sense. But you will be so happy once we do.
Oh, so tell people what happens when you run out to the big box store and get a booster. Wireless booster.
Right. So that's typically what a lot of people say is, well, my Wi-Fi is weak on the second floor or on the west side of my house. I can't get any Wi-Fi, or out on the patio. So they run out to the store and they get a booster, a Wi-Fi booster, and they plug it in. And what happens is it cuts the signal in half and then boosts it in that little area that you're in. So yes, you may get some Wi-Fi in that area you're in, but it slows down everything in general by 50%, typically. I mean, it could be a little bit different percentage, but typically by 50%, and it makes a big difference. And Tom will correct me if my numbers are wrong, but if the maximum speed you have available is 100 miles per hour, right? If you use a wire, you can get the 100 miles per hour,
Right.
But if you do Wi-Fi, you're at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Does that sound right, Tom?
Depends on your Wi-Fi.
All right, depending on your Wi-Fi. So I mean, it's a lot lower.
But it's not like, you're getting 80
Right.
instead of 100. You are like way down on the line.
And there are extreme cases where you just can't get a wire somewhere, or it's not worth the cost of getting a wire somewhere. And there are some alternatives to that, using the AC lines, using the coax. And there are from the TV signal. There are alternatives that can be put into place, but the important thing is that you get the right components, that you get the right devices, that they're set up and managed by somebody who knows what they're doing and does it all the time, and then your life will be much simpler. It's one less thing that you have to worry about, one less thing you have to deal with, and it applies in businesses too. I mean, businesses with bad networks have issues. They have problems. I mean,
and lost productivity.
We see it all the time. I mean, we see it all the time. So really important. Do it the right way. Let us make your networks strong, and it will give you a happy 2018. So anyway, I think that's it for today.
Okay.
All right. We promise in the future, over the next month or so, to do 2 or 3 more podcasts. We will we'll try to do one next Friday. We'll see what happens.
We're supposed to do one every Friday.
We are. We're supposed to do one every Friday. We are going to. We'll be around for the next few weeks, and then we're going to the Consumer Electronics Show.
Right.
We'll bring you back all that information from Las Vegas. Let you know what's cool other than drones and GPSs and car stuff or whatever. We'll bring you back the audio and video and IP stuff. That's
maybe Alexa will have a baby or something.
Yeah, that's it. So all right. So that's it. Happy
it.
holidays, everybody. We want to thank you guys. We truly, truly love and appreciate all of your support and all of your emails, info@thelittleguys.com, all of your emails, stopping by the store, saying hello. We love you guys, and we thank you for all of your help over all of your support.
And look at our Facebook page, and you can see what happened to our old store.
And you can see the old store, or what's left of it.
Big pile of
and
rubble.
Warehouse.
And a warehouse.
Pile of rocks. All right, that's it. We're out of here. Thanks for listening. Ready?
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.